Hello friends, it's Handmade by Sarah W. I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel. If you are returning and if you're brand new, welcome. This is my 7th Flosstube. Today is Sunday, August 20th. I typically film a Flosstube every 2 weeks, so when I looked at my book of days, I could not believe that it had been 2 weeks already. It felt like only one, so I kept looking at it and I was like, am I sure that it's been 2 weeks or has it only been one? But I think it has been 2 since I've been here. So I've got some cross stitching to show you. I have whips, new starts, and some finishes. I have not fully finished anything, although I really intended to and I really want to. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet. So hopefully very soon I will have some fully finishes to show, but it's not today. So I thought I would start today just showing you the whips that I worked on this week, or these past 2 weeks actually, and then we'll get into what I finished and my new starts. So the first thing I want to show you is, it's by Carolyn Manning Designs. This is called Floral Glass, and this is a stained glass stitch. There is a whole nother row of 3 different flowers on the bottom, and then that will be the entire project. So this week, the past 2 weeks, what I worked on was just really doing all that outlining on the top row so that it would be ready for fill-in. Now this design in the chart, she has it's full coverage. I mean, the whole thing is stitched, but I chose not to stitch kind of the background like around the flowers, just because I really like this fabric that I'm doing it on. It is 16 count Picture This Plus Glacier, and I'm using all the called for DMC flosses. They're all really pretty and bright, and it's a really fun fill-in project, so I really like to take this on the go with me. I started it when I was going to the beach, and and that's the only thing I stitched on that week, but I did take other things. I just was really having fun stitching this. So I did pull that out and get some stitches in. I'm not sure if I'll fill in yet or if I'll just move down to the bottom and get my outline done, because I really love having it ready to fill in. So if I find myself with a moment where I'm in the car, my husband's driving, or I'm waiting at a doctor's office or something like that, this is what I can grab and go, and I know that it's ready to fill in and I don't really have to look at a chart or anything. And then the next thing that I want to show you, now I counted this kind of as a new start last time, but I really didn't get any stitches in on it. But the reason I said it was a new start is because I did spend so much time working on kitting it up and getting on my floss and everything for this one. So I'll show you the chart for this. And the reason I didn't show the chart on the last one, on the floral glass, is just because it's a PDF. I didn't bring my iPad up and I didn't have it printed out, sorry. So this chart is Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. And I got this on my birthday from my mama. And so I actually did get some stitches in on it. And this one has been fun because a lot of people have reached out to me after seeing my last video saying, I really want to start this, I'm gonna get this, or I already had it, I want to start it, or whatever. So a lot of people have started stitching this, and it's fun to see that. I love that. I love stitching with friends, it's my favorite. So here's my start that I got on it, and I'll show you the chart again just so you can kind of see where I'm at. I usually always start in the center, so this was no different. And that basket is on top of the house, and so I got the whole basket done. There are some eyelet stitches, I don't know if you can really tell in this light, in the middle of some of the flowers. And then I got that whole line done. I counted like a bunch of times to make sure that I had it right. So hopefully I do have the proper number of stitches. I want to say it was like 213 or something like that. I really can't remember, but I think I got them right. We'll see. I'm not sure where I'll go next on this. Not really sure. I kind of want to save the house and the big birds, so I may try to get around the border. I kind of like to get that in, and then I don't know, everything else just kind of seems to fall into place after that. Or I may do that line of motifs above that line that I put in. I don't know. We'll see whenever I pull this back out what I'm feeling like. But right now I really don't have like a set plan. I also wanted to talk about the supplies that I used for this. So my fabric is an 18 count Zweigart Platinum. And I love this color. And I really kind of didn't want modeling. I just kind of wanted like a solid background for this. And so that's what I got. And that's what I'm doing. Now, the chart calls for 2 DMC flosses, I believe. Let's see. Yes, 2 DMC. And then the rest are Weeks, General Arts, and Classic Colorworks. Well, I do this a lot. Sometimes I will buy all the called for fancy floss. I really will. Sometimes though, I'll just kind of pick the big, large things out and make sure that I have those colors, and then the rest I'll do DMC. So like, of course I wanted the house and the birds and some of the flowers. So what I've done is I've got 9 of the fancy flosses. And then the 2 call for DMCs, and then 7 other DMCs. So, I mean, if you're interested in my conversion for this, I'm happy to share. In fact, a friend reached out and she saw that I posted this and she really wanted it. So she ordered the chart and she asked me, you know, hey, I just want to stitch this in all DMCs. Would you mind to do a conversion for me? And so what I did was I gave her all the colors that I had already converted, and then the colors that I chose that were the fancy floss, I went ahead and just converted those for her too. And so this is what all the colors look like. Those are the fancy floss ones that I chose, and then the rest are DMC. But I'm happy to share that if anyone is interested. You know, or you can do your own thing or whatever. But I'd love for you to join me stitching that. It's been really fun to get started, and it's big, so it's probably going to be around for a while. But that's okay, because I have a lot of big starts or big samplers going, and I really love them. So I don't have a problem with that at all. Okay, next I worked on my birthday start, which is Jane Hopkins. So this is by Hands Across the Sea. And I'll show you my pattern for that. It's the one with the beautiful big floral, huge vase with all the flowers in the middle. And I have just, I feel like I say this every time, but I've just been having so much fun stitching on it. I don't stitch on it every day, but when I do pull it out, it's just so enjoyable. I mean, it really is. I really like to just put one color of floss on my needle and just go. And so this has been so nice for that, because there are big chunks of color, especially a lot of the green, you know, in these leaves. Okay, so I always start in the center, and for some reason on this one, I have just been doing the greens and the yellows. I don't know why. I think I play like little games with myself when I'm stitching, and I think like, okay, well, once I get to here, then I'm gonna do this or whatever. So I think that's what I'm doing, is I'm like, let me just finish the leaves and then I can get to the fun flowers. I don't know. As you can see, I've gotten all the way around the border with one green color. So I did everything that was that color. Then I went around with the yellow color. So I've gotten 2 of the colors of the border in there. And I've been working on the leaves a lot. and trying to, like, I'll just pick one color and then I'll just do everything in that color, if it makes sense. If it's like way down here, I'm not close, then I'll skip that until I get close. But that's where I am on that. It's been a really fun stitch. Now, I don't know what my plan is gonna be yet. Like right now, I've just been focusing on doing a little border, doing a little leaves. Do I wanna do the whole middle first? Or do I wanna do some of these motifs? Like, see, I could really do some of these because I'm, well, at least at the top. I mean, I think I'm close enough to where it would make, well, and I mean, I have the border in, so really I could do whatever. So I'm not sure what my plan will be yet because I haven't gotten that far. I just know that right now I've been putting a green on and going, and that's been really fun and relaxing and enjoyable. And every single time I pick this up, I'm happy and I'm like, oh, this is just what I needed right now, this second. I am stitching this on an 18 count Parliament by Forbidden Fiber Company, and it is an Ada, and it's kind of like a pinkish neutral with a lot of pretty modeling, and it's been a joy to stitch on. It was the first fabric that I ever got from that company, and I've really been enjoying stitching on it, and I would definitely buy more of that fabric. So, okay, next, I have shown this before, and this is a whip that I'm working on with my sister Laura, and we have been working on, and it's by Lizzie Kate. Sorry, my mind went blank for a second. And it's just one of these rules where you get all the fun little sayings, and it's going to be a long piece, but it's the Halloween rules. And so you can buy these patterns. They come, it's like a little card, and it's got 2 of the sayings on each card. And you can do them separately, like they're really cute on their own, but then you can put them all together in this one long piece, which is how we wanted to do it. And she has this free border on her website. So this is the top of the border, and then of course it goes all the way down the sides and the bottom, but I didn't want to do, I kind of wanted to like get the top part done, and then as I'm doing the sayings, I'll work my way down on the border. So I'm ready for the first saying to go in there, and we are using almost all of the called for fancy floss. We are doing a few DMCs, but they're really pretty colors. And what we did, and I just thought this was so smart, and then I saw Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, she did it with her friend too, the museum stitcher, Bridget. And what my sister and I did, we wanted to use fancy floss, and since we're both stitching it at the same time, I said, why don't we just order one of each and then we can split it, and that will at least get us started, because I really didn't want to go through the trouble of figuring out like, well, how much am I going to need for each color. And so we're doing this on an 18 count vintage country mocha, so we're using 1 strand. So we just ordered all the floss. And I printed these really cute, like I just found a free vintage Halloween little pictures. And so I got, there's only 2 of them. I mean, I did a little hat and yeah, I think there's only 2. Yeah, a witch's hat and a jack-o'-lantern. So anyway, I thought that was a really, like, if you're, because it was a lot of colors, and I was like, well, I mean, it could be either $60 for both of us to get them, or $30 that we split, I think is how much it ended up being, or maybe like a little less, I can't really remember, just to kind of get us going. And then as we need more colors, we can order them, whatever. So that's all that I have for whips that I didn't finish. So now I'm going to move into what I did finish. And one of them, you know what? I don't even know where I put it. And I definitely don't have it right here in front of me, but it is the September Quaker that goes into this cubby. Maybe I showed it last time. Maybe I did. Hopefully I did. If not, I did show it on my Instagram, so you can see it there. I did stitch it on the 18 count Hobby Lobby Zweigart that my sister got me in the color Vintage. And I will tell you that I did use the DMC for that it called for. However, 3888, I'll save you some trouble if you're going to stitch this one, it's discontinued. So I did substitute the new, color for that, which is 3041. So other than that, I did do the called for. And then, okay, so Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs put out a fun little hashtag, oldie but goodie Sal, because she pulled out an old project, and I thought, wow, that is a great idea. Let me go to my whips, because I wasn't gonna stitch on this that day at all. But when she did that, I thought, well, let me go see what I have old hanging around. And I pulled out my my Christmas ornaments that I'm doing from the Bivsters that I've shown before. And well, it's not ornaments, so she didn't chart them as ornaments, but Carrie and I are doing this together, and we have broken them up into ornaments. And I finished number 10. So I pulled him out. I think the border wasn't quite finished, and I only really had like his hat and his boots, I think. And when I tell you that the border on these is what takes so long, like once you get that done, I swear the middle goes so fast. So I did get that done real quick. So I only have 2 more days left, and then I'll have all of them done. I need to finish that last border, but the other border is finished. And I'll show you the other ones too while I have it out. So I could go ahead and like finish up day 11 because I do have a border already done for that. Here are the other days though. This is done on a 14 count Needle Bling Designs Shrekie's Tan. And all the called for DMC, and something that I regret, but I couldn't go back once I started, I felt like, is she calls for like 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 strands, and I wish I'd have just done 2 strands all over. However, it does give it a really nice thick coverage. Let me like see if you can even tell. Hold it up. It really is like a nice thick coverage, and these actually are charted full coverage, but we just kind of let the fabric shine through on the background and like didn't do the whole full coverage thing on these. So that was a finish. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me get the book. So I've shown this probably every single video I've ever done. The Winds of Autumn. And I do have the other autumn book. I just haven't stitched anything out of it, and I need to. But from this book, I wanted to do this strawberry right there. And it's called The First Winds of Autumn. And I'll show you a bigger picture of it. Okay. I've never stitched a strawberry before, and the prompt for the August cross stitch camp through Colorado Cross Stitcher was just to try something new. And so I thought that the finishing would be my new situation because I've never stitched or finished a strawberry. So I started that August 1st because that's when the August camp started, was August 1st. Well, I mean, you didn't have to start it then, and you surely could still participate and start today if you wanted to. And you don't have to finish stitching it, but my goal that I set for myself is not only did I want to finish stitching it in the month, but I also want to finish it as a strawberry in the month. And so step 1 complete. I did finish stitching it. This is it. I don't know how well it's going to show up here, but there are a lot of different oranges on this, and every time I would put a new one on my needle, I would think, this is so similar to the one I just stitched, but then I would realize, but no, it's really not, and it's giving it so much depth and dimension. So in person, really, I mean, you really can tell the differences. It's just so many pretty different shades of orange. It is stunning in person. So what I did here is I did do a couple of DMCs, and I did, which I used like the DMCs that were in the chart, and then some of the fancy floss. I think they were all weeks that I used. The only thing that I substituted is the bird was supposed to be in molasses, and I chose charcoal just because I was in person when I pulled it, and I was like, this isn't like at all what I envisioned this bird to look like. I wanted him to be more black, and so I picked charcoal. And so what's funny about when I stitched this, okay, so the way that I attacked it was, the first thing that I stitched was, I can't show you because where it shows it, it's, there's chart on that. Okay, so I'll just tell you. So the first thing that I stitched was the black in the bird. And so all of the pattern that's orange there, I just left that blank, and I was just gonna fill it in. So I was just stitching along, not thinking anything about it. My mom came over and I pulled it out to show her. I said, oh, didn't we just pick good when we were at the store and we got that charcoal? I think it just turned out really good, don't you? And she was like, yeah. And I'm looking at it, and I see that, you see that S in the wing? It's supposed to be, you know, my initial. It was a B. I stitched the chart and I didn't take into account that I needed to put my initial there. I was not even paying attention. What I need to do is put like something on the chart, like an X, and say, do not go there. Like, change this, because this isn't the first time. This isn't the only time I did this week. But the good thing about it, so I went to the chart and I compared the S with the B. In order to change the B to an S, I didn't have to take any stitches out. I only needed to add maybe like 4 or something. It wasn't very many. So quickly I was able to change that B to an S, and no one has to know that I messed up. I did change the year to 2023 on top of the roof, and I'm really excited to get this into its finished state, which will be a strawberry. There are directions in the chart, and the called for finishing product that you needed to get if you wanted it to look like theirs was some velveteen from Lady Dot Creates in the color Potato. So I got that. Oh, there you can see it's really pretty. So that will be the stem. You like roll it up, and then you cut out all these leaves and like lay them down, and you kind of sew them all together, and then they'll go around. Anyway, I'm really excited to get that finished. And that was for my cross stitch camp piece. So I got that done. Okay. And then okay, so I had another, this was a new start, a whip, and a finish all in the past couple of days. When I finished that one out of this book, and I know I've said it a bunch of times, like I want to stitch everything in there. So I thought, well, let me just start something. And so I started this. Now, let me tell you, do you see how beautiful and variegated that floss is? I wanted this same look in mine. So I ordered the called for. It's Gentle Arts Dark Chocolate. Well, my dark chocolate was basically totally solid. Like there's no variegation in it at all. So I mean, I like the finish, but there's no, it doesn't have the same look to me. But I mean, I still like it, and I'm gonna finish it as a little pillow for my dough bowl, my fall dough bowl. But this is another one. So if you don't already watch, and I may have mentioned her before, but Laura, her channel is new. I think we started around the same time, and her channel is Textilly. And anyway, we were chatting because she had seen me mention that I wanted to do a berry for cross stitch camp, and she wanted to do it too because she had never she had never done one. So anyway, we were chatting about our berries or whatever, and I looked at this and I thought, are you kidding me? I did it again. I stitched someone else's initials, not my own. Not both of them, just the last one. So I had to rip all that out. So really, I need like an alert. I need something to put on there that says, do not go there. A big red X. Change the initials. But anyway, oh, and the name of this, it's in the same book, Winds of Autumn, but it's called Waiting for the Harvest. And I did this one on an 18 count Zweigart in the color Sand. So I used one strand of that called for Gentle Art Dark Chocolate. And if I didn't mention on the first Winds of Autumn, the berry one, I also did an 18 count. That's the size that it called for, and I wanted to do it the same just because I didn't want to risk like my finish being off or anything, since it was the first time I was doing one. And also Laura had suggested a video by Helen D for finishing strawberries, and so I've watched that once, and I'll probably just kind of watch it again as I go through and finish that strawberry, just because, you know, I like to watch and pause and do. So hopefully I'll have that to show on my next video. Okay, so I had some new starts this week. I participated a little bit in the Common Threaded Stitcher. If you had a chance to check some of that out, that was really fun. And so the way I participated in their prompts where you like take a question like introduce yourself or what's some of your favorite this or that. And so I did do some of that kind of stuff on my Instagram. Then I also watched, some people did like live videos, and I watched as many of those that I knew about or like stumbled upon. That was really fun. And JBW Designs put out a free pattern for that event, and it was this sweet little stocking. I don't have my iPad up here because it was just a PDF, and plus it was the chart, so like I really didn't want to show. But if you go to Common Thread Stitcher on Instagram or well, that's really where you can find the chart, I think. And I don't know if you can on JBW or Judy Whitman's Instagram page, but anyway, I started it, but I didn't get very far, and I just did this on an 18 count, I believe. Yes, 18 count white. I wanted it to be like that bright white because it was this snowy scene, and I just grabbed a sulky floss, and it looks like the color is 1147, I think. And so I just grabbed that like from my stash and started one strand on that. I didn't get very far, but you know, I did get started. But I thought that would be a really cute little ornament. And I love cross stitch ornaments. Like I have a lot of them that I've stitched a lot, and I love them very much. So I thought, well, I will, you know, I'll get to it. But right now, I'm kind of obsessed with fall. Fall's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite season. I love fall so much. So when, and I don't know why I really didn't have this one in my stash, because I've liked it for a long time, especially, and I love fall. But Carrie, Tiger Lily Designs, like I was telling about the oldie but goodie Sal, she pulled out an old one of hers, and it was by the Scarlet House, and it's Penny Pumpkin. It's the chart. And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need that because I love pumpkins and I love fall, and it's just my favorite. Then I'm watching Antique Needleworkers, and Liz had been stitching on it, and I was like, okay, well, that's my sign. I gotta have it. So I'm glad, I think it was Liz that shared that there are some over one little pieces in the middle on this. So I don't stitch on linen. I mean, I have before, but like mostly I just always stitch on Aida. So I thought, well, I can either just leave them out and do a smaller fabric, like make it a smaller little pillow, or I can do 14 count, and then I probably can just do the over one and still stitch them. So that's my plan. I hope that I can, I'm gonna try them and see how they look, and if they look good, then great, I'll stitch them all in there. But I also really wanted that white pumpkin to pop, and so I picked just a 14 count silver Zweigart, and this is everything I've gotten done since I started it. And then, so I'm kind of like obsessed with, I've told you about that. I did that dough bowl with my Blackbird Patriotics, and I'm like, okay, I really want a beautiful fall one. So that's kind of been like on my mind. Like I really want to stitch pumpkins in fall, and I had already started this, and I did show it to you. I Love Fall Most of All by Brenda Gervais. I didn't stitch on this at all this week, but just because I've got it here in the same bag and I'm talking about fall dough bowls, I'll show you where I'm at on that. It's so cute. So I haven't stitched on it anymore just because I moved on and started Penny Pumpkin, and I just thought, let me just at least get these things started because I still have plenty of time for fall. We're not running out of time. And sometimes I feel like I'm trying to get things done, like, oh, it's fall, it's almost fall, I gotta get this stuff done. But like, I still have time. Like, relax, I can get this done. And so I think that was all of my new starts that I wanted to show. And then one that I'm about to start. Okay, so the last time I was in an LNS, I got there like 20 minutes before she was closing, and I just don't shop well under pressure. Like I need a minute. And so I was kind of frazzled, and I only grabbed like a couple of things, but I had this in my hand and I didn't get it for some reason. But it is by Plum Street Samplers Autumn Cottage. I bought another Plum Street. I don't know why I set this one back down. I don't really know, but it's going to be perfect in that dough bowl, right? Like with my, the two I just showed, the Penny Pumpkin, the I Love Fall Most of All, the berry, also the other Blackbird one that I did with the pumpkins, and now this. Yeah, it's gonna be cute. So the reason I bought this, Megan Seattle Stitcher, and this is the one that she split the floss with her friend that I was telling you that I had done that with my sister too. It's a good idea, especially for something small like this. But anyway, she showed it and I was like, yeah, I'll need that too. So she inspired me to go ahead and get it. So I want to start that ASAP. And I think that's really all the stitching that I have to show you today. I've got a couple other things to tell you about. I got some happy mail, and I have the winners from last week's giveaways that I'm really excited to tell about that. I'm gonna share like such a sweet package that I got in the mail. So if you don't already follow Bright Hope Stitchery, her name's Judy, she's really sweet, and she sent me a very sweet package. And there are like handmade things in here, and I asked her if it was okay if I shared what she showed me, and she said it was. So she sent me a very sweet card. I just love that. It's so pretty. And I was so shocked when I opened this. I just can't get over like the kindness of people. And so I opened this up. First things, there's a bag. Okay, there's so much in here. Okay, let me show you. So first off, she makes these, it's like a little pincushion scissor holder pillow. Okay, she sent me two of them, and one of them's a little bit bigger than the other one. Beautiful fabrics. And then on the back, they have a little pocket. She sent me needles, scissors. How sweet. and really talented. She's so good at sewing. And then check this out, coordinating needle books. Isn't that sweet? She's a very kind and sweet lady, and I appreciate chatting with her. Oh, there were these sweet little cards in there with some little sayings and verses on the back. Sorry for the glare. So sweet. And then she sent me all of this chenille trim. Look at this. How great is that going to be for some of my pillow finishes? Oh my gosh. And like, look how pretty. Look at that. I love these. So thank you so much. I really love this package. It just made my day, and I just can't get over how kind people are in this community, and it just makes me just want to cry every time I think about something that someone did that was so kind and they didn't have to, and I just love y'all so much. So I'm excited to tell you about who won the giveaways from last week. So I had 2 cross-stitch charts, and I had 3 patterns from Tiger Lily Designs for her mini project keepers. And this is the one that she had sent me. It has like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and about to be 5 projects in here. I love that. Okay. So for the fall cross-stitch pattern, the winner for that was Carol McQueen 3497. For the one that you had to comment happy, and it was the Happy Halloween pattern, it's Casey Knitter 1. And so if y'all will just email me, it's handmadebysarahw1@gmail.com, or you can just message me on Instagram, and I'll just need your email address and I'll send that over to you. And then for the mini pattern, same thing, just email me and I'll get your information over to Carrie and she will send you the pattern. And I really hope that you will try to make the keeper, and because you will make it if you try. It has a really good video on there. You can go step by step, and once you do, or when you're working on it, I would love to see it. So tag me, tag Carrie. She also has a hashtag. I think it's Tiger Lily Project Keeper. Anyway, so the winners for those are Paula McMillan 6171, and then X Stitching Librarian, and Pamela Thorne 9345. So I'm so glad that you guys came up, you know, in the picker, that you got selected to win these charts and patterns, and I'm so excited for you to get them. So email me, and thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your weekend, and happy stitching. Thanks for watching. Bye.